Okay, we are here. We are here. This is the moment. This is the final exam.
Very
Sly,
exciting.
for your final exam, all I ask of you to do is rank every single movie that we've watched so far on this program. And there's quite a few of them.
Hey,
So,
there's a decent amount here.
I'm looking at Stan. That's a lot.
yeah.
Yeah, I will be completely transparent. I don't remember all of these movies. However, I did go back and watch some of our old episodes and just watch our final thoughts.
Perfect.
So I got the vibes of most of these, and so we are not going off of any actual memories
Fair.
of these films. We're going purely on the vibes and how I feel about them a year and change later.
Well, as the tier list
Yes.
goes, it's going to go starting obviously at the very top, S rank. These are your top tier movies that you enjoyed that we've done on this show.
Your Electras.
Your Electras, as one will. And then, of course, there's the A tier, which is excellent movies, but just not S tier. B, which are passable, but still good. C, all right, we're getting a little shaky here. You know, you're barely getting by, but, you know, your mom's not going to yell at you. D, as in, like, seriously, bro, you need some work. And then, of course, there are Punisher 2004. So,
Yeah.
that's the levels that we're working with here. Of course, Bentley is joining us for your final exam. I'll allow him to provide some commentary, if he will. I'll even ask him what he thinks the movies are even about, but we'll find out how we'll do that.
I know only a few of them.
And then we also have some notes actually about the guests from some of the episodes. So I'll bring them back up just since, you know,
Nice.
it'll be a nice little history lesson. And we're going to go back from the first movie we've done all the way up to Across the Spider-Verse. So let's begin. Starting with the very first movie that we did on this program. That, of course, is Blade. 1998's Blade.
That was such an introduction to this universe. Like it really set the tone for what this show would go on to be. And I adore the experience of getting to watch this and then talk about it with you.
Yes.
And because it was just such a strong opener, I'm gonna give this an A.
Really? Oh, right at the okay. Starting pretty high right now. We have Blade in the A tier. Bentley, you've said that you've not seen these movies. Do you have a plan in the future to watch?
I have seen a couple of them.
You've seen the Blade movies?
From the Blade movies?
I have not seen Blade.
Yeah,
I have
okay.
seen a couple. I've seen like more than half of these.
More than half? Okay.
Well,
All right. Okay. Duly noted. Well, we got, going on this tier right now is Blade. Next up, X-Men. The first X-Men movie.
That is a good one.
We've done a lot of these.
We've done a lot.
A lot of these.
Comparatively, this is really solid. It was a strong start. I mentioned in the end of that episode that I was really excited to see where those characters go.
Yes.
And it was of the first 3 X-Men, it was definitely the strongest. And I'm also going to give that one an A.
Okay.
A fair warning, most of my rankings are going positive.
I will say I do like the X-Men movie. That is a good one. I liked it because it had a pretty good characters. I liked it. I really liked that.
Okay. Okay.
I would give it an A. That's a really good one.
Yeah. You can still watch this on Disney Plus in 4K, so I definitely recommend checking that out. Blade 2. We're going back to Blade.
Yeah. We did not recommend watching this movie.
Yeah, I think we didn't, actually.
I know you were really upset rewatching Blade 2.
Yes.
You had a lot of fun memories
Yes.
the first time. But overall experience in the year of our Lord 2023, I'm sorry, but Blade 2 is getting a D.
Ooh. All right.
I agree.
Our first D goes to Blade 2, which was starting in to 2000s, 2022. Yeah, I really really was upset. I remember that episode because I had so much fond memories of it. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
Now we're moving into your favorite universe, Daredevil. 2003's Daredevil.
Spider-Man 1.
Spider-Man.
Oh, is it Spider-Man 1? Oh, I'm sorry.
first
I
favorite.
highlighted
first
wrong.
one.
My bad. Spider-Man 1. My favorite universe.
Spider-Man 1.
Yeah.
That is my favorite universe. Spider-Man.
Okay.
The first Spider-Man movie, that's the first Marvel movie I ever watched.
Really? The
It
Tobey
got
Maguire
me
Spider-Man
hooked
movie?
onto the Marvels. Yeah.
Huh.
It got me hooked onto the Marvel franchise,
Okay.
and I just love Spider-Man because it was the first movie I ever watched.
Okay.
Well, not the first one, but the first Marvel, or like first action movie.
Sure.
Like Spider-Man. Once I saw the design for Spider-Man, like I was like, it's so cool. I loved it. I would give it an A.
Okay. What is Sly? What do you think?
Oh man. Yeah, I think Spider-Man 1, Tobey's first Spider-Man. It was a really solid origin story. I'm trying like instinctively I would ding it because we've seen so many origin stories at this point, but looking at it as like a 2002 movie of being a really solid, really great introduction to the universe of superhero movies as a genre, I think I have to give it an A.
Okay. So we're going to give the original Spider-Man movie an A. I'm going to go ahead and throw that into the A tier. Any specific order in these A's real quick? Like, do you think Spider-Man, X-Men?
Just go in the order we have it in the doc. I think that'll make it easier.
That'll make it easier. Okay, perfect. All right, and then now Daredevil. Daredevil is your option.
Daredevil.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this movie so.
I'm gonna put everything starts in the Punisher tier until you
Bullseye.
rank it. So there you go.
I adore the next movie in this universe. However, there's not a lot going for this, so I can only reasonably give it a B.
A B. Still pretty high, but you know what? That's
Pretty
fine.
high.
That's fine.
I watched Daredevil a couple ago. It was pretty good.
Okay. Hey, Bullseye actually probably is what makes it a B, right? Like we forgot about that.
No, Bullseye is why
Bullseye.
it's a B.
Yeah.
Can I change?
Bullseye.
Hold on one second. B for Bullseye.
yes. B for Bullseye.
Okay. I don't know if that will save, but I'm going to put. Oh, there we go. B for Bullseye. Perfect.
There you go.
If we discover new ones, we will change these. But anyways, next one up is X2. X2.
I don't really remember X2.
X2 was
Which one was that?
Nightcrawler's first introduction. It was Jean Grey dies at the end of it. Spoilers. Stryker.
Yeah.
Logan Roy.
Yeah. I don't know. It's in the middle for me.
Sure.
I know some of these characters. I don't like some of these characters, so it's in the middle.
Where do you feel it's fallen for you, Mario?
I think for me, I remember it being like the next level of like, oh, it's in the Spider-Man 1 category, but falling back on it, X-Men 1 is my favorite. X2 at the very least, I think was a good continuation. I think we need to fill in C. I think we need it's good, but it's just not, it doesn't hold up over time.
That's where I was feeling.
Yeah.
So I would agree with you. I would go C.
I think C personally.
That's a good ranking.
All right.
It's not too good, but it's not too bad.
So I'm going to add a rule. I will only veto an answer if it's one of my favorite movies, and that, of course, we're going to be talking about the Hulk. Ang Lee's the Hulk.
The Hulk 2003 gets the honor of being our first S tier.
Hell yes. That's what I'm talking about.
I agree. I love Hulk. It's one of my favorite Marvel movies.
This was
the 2003 iteration was just like the first time going through this podcast where I was really excited and inspired about what we were doing with the show as a whole, and it really cemented that this was a podcast that we needed to be doing. And I just have so many fond memories of that movie. And it's a silly, goofy time, but it's just so solid, and the way it touches on the different themes of Hulk's story is just so good, and I freaking adore it.
I love the original Hulk.
Oh, good.
The original Hulk is really good.
Thank you.
I would say the original Hulk is one of my favorite Marvel movies.
Okay.
But it's like A tier for me.
Okay.
It's not my fave. It's not like one of the best, like S tier for me, but it's still
okay.
Yeah.
Well, again, this movie was my biggest, like, oh my god, when I saw it, I was like, this has been trounced on for too long. We're gonna get so much hate mail for this, and you know where you can send that? Straight to hell. Hulk. Oh, I know this one. Hold on. Hulk, S stands for
Smash.
For Smash.
Yep.
There you go.
Oh, I was gonna do S for Spider-Man, but
already got him here.
Smash, indeed.
Yes, Hulk for Smash.
Right.
All right.
Okay, wait,
here we go.
Wait. Oh, it's time for.
Yes, we're gonna be ranking.
Yep,
Hold on 1 second. We're gonna be ranking.
Nope.
Let's just put it in a ranking. Let's just. We made a whole tier for it. Let's just put it.
Sly, is that how you feel about the Punisher 2004?
Punisher 2004 is its own category because it is that bad. It became the blueprint of what we compared every movie after it. And it was my barometer for what makes a solid Marvel movie. My Twitter pinned tweet is still, "This is a Punisher 2004 hate account," and I stand by that. It's so bad that we had to make it its own category, and I absolutely do not recommend anybody watch this movie ever in their life.
I think this is the movie that I think that's the episode I watched when I looked at your channel. That's why I agree with you, because I remember watching. Like, no.
Oh Lord.
Don't talk about.
Yeah, no comment. Right. Bad movie. Throw it in the trash.
Just throw it in its area movie.
Yeah, it's the worst of the worst. So if you get thrown in that category, we have a lot more movies to get through. Somebody could also get thrown in that category. We'll find out.
If someone gets thrown in that category, they have to be bad.
Yeah. All right. Spider-Man 2. So we're going into the next Spider-Man movie.
Spider-Man 2, I say it's just as good as the original. It is a good action-packed movie that is not like they're craving the money. They actually made a good Spider-Man movie.
Okay.
Spider-Man 2, I would say, is like around the same level as Spider-Man 1, so like an A tier.
Okay.
I really like the second Toby. I think I would put it a step below the first Toby, just because and this might be my sequel bias coming through, but it's right up there. I just don't think I would personally put it as an A for me. What are your thoughts, Mario?
It is known as Spider-Man 2 as known like the pivotal, like the before The Dark Knight came out. Spider-Man 2 was the benchmark of like superhero movies in terms of action, in terms of characters that we've seen. Again, with time, some things age gracefully and some things to me do age like milk. Spider-Man 2 doesn't age like milks per se, but I do think that some of the building blocks that Spider-Man 1 sets up, I just feel like I enjoy more. And I feel like if I go back and re-listen to our episodes, I feel like that's the same commentary I think I might have made. But putting in B tier still means it's still a solid film.
It's still very solid.
I'm kind of offended, but I'm fine.
This is why you're color commentary. Okay, so thank you so much for being here.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the final Blade movie, Blade Trinity.
Can I help with this one?
I adored that movie so much.
You did.
I don't know why. It was just such a blast for me. However, looking back, I don't quite remember as much about Blade Trinity as I do the first one, so I would probably put it a step down.
Okay.
But overall, it was much better than the second Blade. I did not have very many fond feelings for the second Blade, and Blade Trinity was definitely one of my highlights.
I have no comments for this one because this is one I don't watch.
That's fine. This is one of the many Ryan Reynolds comic book movies that came out at a certain point, so don't you worry. Okay, this is going to be a good one because this is actually our first guest that we have had on this show. Of course, JJ, talking about Elektra. Where are we going to put Elektra on this list?
That's a pretty.
This is my list, and we all know where Elektra is going to. Elektra is an S tier movie for me personally. It's a tight 9. It has gore and vision. It has great OCD representation. It's like everything about Elektra 2005 has held such a fond place in my heart, even as we went through this. And obviously getting to have JJ, one of the lovely co-hosts, on as a guest and as our first guest, it really just made this movie so special to me personally.
Very lovely. Very lovely.
I have no words for that movie.
That is
very good. I really liked it.
You know what?
It's a good movie. It's a good movie.
Oh, so you've seen it?
Yeah, I have. I just have no words because she just said everything.
There you go. Very nice.
She said everything.
All right. So then we're going to go straight to, I believe it is Fantastic Four, the first Fantastic Four.
That's a pretty good one.
What do you think of Fantastic Four?
That movie cemented the tone of what the show was for us personally. But like I'm having a hard time not being biased about the quality of this movie.
Sure.
But I think it needs to be at least be an A. I'm trying very hard not to make it an S tier movie.
We don't need that many S tiers.
We don't need that many. I think it has to be the bit for what it did for our show and how much we enjoyed talking about that movie in particular.
That's true. So is it A or B? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that part.
I would do A.
Do A? Okay. Yeah, there is a bit that we fondly talk about on this show that I will not be mentioning now, but if you go on our TikTok, it's there. So definitely love this movie, especially for Victor and, of course, Reed. So
Victor Von Doom, love of my life.
Love of our lives. Of course, next movie is the third X-Men Last Stand. I'll preface ahead of time, I hate this movie. But
yeah, I was not a fan.
It kind of sucks.
Where did we put X2? Did we put
X2 is C tier.
Okay.
X2 is C tier.
I would put it probably. What did you do?
I have no idea.
Did I do anything? Oh.
Did you do it? I don't know.
I didn't touch anything.
I would put it 1, 2. I think is where I would put it.
Where would you put it?
I was doing it was
you said X2 was C tier. I would put it D tier then.
D tier. Okay. All right.
So close to the. So close to the Punisher.
Yeah. Well, you'll be surprised about that one. Ghost Rider. Next one is Ghost Rider. Where are we putting Ghost Rider?
I kind of like Ghost Rider. It's good. I would say I don't really like the CGI, but for its time, the CGI.
I think the CGI actually held really well.
Yeah.
On Ghost Rider.
I mean, yes, but nowadays when you look at CG from here to then, it's not as good. But I can't be mad at it because it's an older movie. So I would say it's solid. It's pretty.
If I'm not mistaken, I think we did previously say that, like, hey, we were actually pretty impressed by certain things, and you're right, by certain standards, that is true. But I do think that
by 2007 standards, it was it was still watchable. It wasn't like it didn't detract from the story.
Like the CGI wasn't so bad you couldn't look at it like cringing how bad the CGI was.
Yeah, that's fair. I
would probably put it at B.
Okay. I remember liking it a lot. I think we had a good time that time. I think we were just goofy.
We had a blast with that.
Yeah. A B tier seems good for Ghost Rider.
It's just goofy fun, and I think we enjoyed it for that. Spider-Man 3. We were in Spider-Man 3.
A tier. I'm not saying anything else. A tier.
Really? You like Spider-Man 3 a lot?
I'm just saying A tier.
Oh, it was way too long for me.
I like long movies.
The whole Venom, the whole symbiote plot,
I
really didn't include. It didn't add anything for me.
Yeah. Green Goblin 2.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. I think I would put it at. It was fine. What was good, but what was bad was bad.
I'm kind of sad. I love this movie.
All right. I feel like when you say your tiers, I can't hear it. What was this tier again? Sorry, C tier?
I would put it at a C.
C. Okay. I grew some appreciation for it, but you're correct. There's still stuff in there that's bad. Mostly Sandman is the thing that stood out the most that I liked.
Okay, I can agree. Sandman is
kind. Yeah. Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Okay, Silver. I'm just saying it. Silver Surfer is a weird character they should have not added.
I don't remember a lot about this movie. I'm gonna be real honest. And so because it was so unmemorable, it's gonna have to be pretty low for me. Okay. What are you thinking, Mario?
I'm okay with D tier. I mean, I think that overall, the first one was just so much more, and we had more Victor in that movie. As much as I do love the Silver Surfer, I just don't think there's enough. And Galactus was a goddamn cloud. All right,
yeah,
that was bad.
I didn't really appreciate the choices they made with the characters they had, and I think they could have done a lot more with what they were given. So yeah, I would put it at a D.
Okay.
I feel like Silver Surfer could have been a lot more than what it is.
True. It's funny because I love who portrayed him, which was Doug Jones, and I love the voice was Lawrence Fishburne, but for some reason there just wasn't enough of those two things.
Here's the thing though. They just made Silver Surfer a silver.
No, of course.
They could have added some stuff to it that could have made him a little bit of a cooler hero.
Sure.
Instead of just making him be a silver man that rides the surf.
What if I told you he was a comic book character and that's what he looked like in the comic books?
I know. I know he's a comic book character and that's what he looks like in the comic books. But he could have added a little bit of.
You're right. You should have had a skateboard instead. I would have loved that. I did want to bring up, I forgot about this for Ghost Rider. Eric, again, of course, joined us for that episode. And then for this episode, we had Harv, Parmar, a.k.a. Beard in the Hair, our co-host. So shout out to him. Sure. So we're going to go ahead and put that in D tier.
Including me.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay, another Punisher. Okay, go in your tier.
Yeah.
Punisher Warzone. Here's the thing. I don't remember watching this movie at all, but I did go back and listen to the end of our episode for this, and we had a silly, goofy time. We had fun watching that movie,
yes.
And it was excessively gory in a really fun and stylized way. So I think I'm gonna give it a C.
Okay. All right.
I thought it was gonna go in the Punisher tier.
No, well, you know what? Yeah, Punisher 2004.
Punisher 2004 is its own category.
Yeah, just in a league of its own.
For a reason.
And then for that, I mean, I think we should have gave this its own category, but you know what? Let's see here. We're going to be talking about X-Men, our Lord and Savior, X-Men Origins, Wolverine.
Our Lord and Savior, X-Men Origins, Wolverine.
Good one.
It was so ridiculously unhinged. Just everything about it was a choice.
Yes.
However, it was better than Punisher 2004, so it has to at least be a D.
Okay.
Yes. It's better at basically anything better than.
Okay. And closing out the season 1, Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance.
That does.
Spirit of Vengeance. I remember I had a lot of strong feelings about how they developed the character.
Yeah.
And how the choices they made with the characters they had within that movie. I genuinely do not remember what our overall impressions were, but looking back, I would probably put it around a C, I think.
Okay.
Do you remember more about what we initially felt about that movie?
I think we definitely were let down from what we enjoyed of the Ghost Rider of the first one, but I definitely think that in terms of it taking itself a little too seriously, maybe is what brought it down, and therefore we just didn't find it as entertaining as the first one. But I don't think we hated it, as far as I remember.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
it was better CGI than the first one.
You're right. There was some better CGI. There's some moments,
but yeah, it just took itself a little too seriously for.
Yeah. So, all right. That concludes
season 2.
Season 2.
Hey,
look at all of these movies we did. We did this for a while, which is wild. So
here's the thing, though. This movie was made the year I was born.
I'm sorry. Say that again. You're talking about X-Men First Class. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, this movie was made when the year I was born.
My God. Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Well,
usually I'm the youngest person in the room.
Yeah,
and
now
that just
I'm the
made
youngest.
me feel.
Yeah, now I'm the youngest.
That movie. So that came out. So you're. Oh man. Okay. Well.
I'm 11.
Yeah.
I was 11 when the first one came out. Or 9, I think. What do you think about X-Men First Class?
I think you know what I think about
Yes,
X-Men
I think I do.
First Class. This was the movie. This was the first movie that we watched that I immediately finished and opened up an AO3 browser to search for fan fiction, to enjoy more stories about these characters. I love them so much. This is an S tier movie for me.
Yes, I agree. Sure. I love the movie. I watched it the moment I was allowed to because it was the year I was born in, so I'm a little biased.
Fair.
I'm just a little biased.
Fair enough.
Just a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, X-Men First Class, no notes. Fantastic movie. We one of our favorites overall. Rivals the original, which yes, I think this perfectly takes it over. So we'll go with that. Amazing Spider-Man, the first one.
First Andrew.
Yeah, first Andrew.
I love the Andrew takes. He wasn't the best actor, but he wasn't the worst actor.
Fair.
I adore his take. I think I really like that we get two very different takes on the characters and the different sides of the characters. I think that I have to put them on the same level. I just adore the different styles of them so much.
Yes.
There's something for everyone in the different takes on Spider-Man and on Peter Parker as a character. And I think that there's so much discourse around which one's better. And I really think we should just appreciate both of them for what we got out of them. And like pitting them against each other is to the detriment of all Spider-Man fans. So I think I would have to put them together.
This movie start liking Spider-Man as my favorite superhero. This movie. I liked Spider-Man as a superhero before, but this made him my favorite, this movie.
Okay. All right. Definitely, obviously, people are subjective on the, Andrew Garfield version because it's not like their precious first one, or it's not, something that they're used to, or it's another origin story. But I think watching it during this podcast and revisiting it overall in the lead up of No Way Home, absolutely think that Andrew Garfield deserved his flowers. So, and I love that we actually got to have a wonderful guest on both these episodes. Of course, Marissa from Throw the After Party, along one of your co-hosts, joined us.
Yeah. We got to, that was a really fun recording experience. We recorded Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 back to back with two of my co-hosts from We'll Throw the After Party. So of course, thank you so much, Marissa and Liz, for being on those episodes. They were just so much fun.
Yes. So
good job.
Fantastic. Okay, next up, The Wolverine, which is Wolverine in Japan. To refresh your memory a little bit.
Oh man, thank you for refreshing my memory because I always get this one mixed up and I always forget how much we actually enjoyed this one, kind of.
Yeah, we did.
It was, I mean, I'm not saying it's great, but it was an interesting take on the character, and we got to see a little bit more of Logan's humanity in that movie in a really interesting way. It's either a B or a C for me. I'm not quite sure. Where are you at?
It wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst, I would say. I would give it like a solid B.
I'm going to probably say C, only because it has to be better than X-Men Origins, our Lord and Savior Wolverine.
Yeah.
But we also...
It does have to be better than our Lord and Savior.
Yes. But, and then one of the movies we still have to talk about is later, but I kind of want that movie to be higher, so I'm going to say C, personally.
Okay. Let's put it at C. Okay. I'm good with that. Yeah, for sure.
So...
And then following that up, we're going to go with The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which, of course, was recorded with Liz from We Throw the After Party.
Uh-huh.
That is a Goblin, Electro.
So fun, that recording, because Liz had a very hot take about Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and Zendaya's MJ that we got to discuss on that episode. That was a really fun time. However, the movie, it's fine.
It's not my favorite Spider-Man movie. I would say it's either B or C.
It's all right.
It's all right.
I feel like it's on the same level as Spider-Man 3 for me. I would put it in a similar vein.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that too, because
it's not my...
When I think of Spider-Man 2, I don't think of Amazing Spider-Man 2 in the same category.
Exactly. That's where I was coming from.
Yeah, I think that...
It's not my favorite Spider-Man either.
Okay.
It's like, it's mid.
It's mid? Straight mid? Okay. Now we're going to go into Days of Future Past, the X-Men film, which bridges both old X-Men and new X-Men.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it sure does. Again, I love the First Class timeline. Those takes on the characters. However, that movie was kind of a hot mess. And there are some movies that are not great that I loved, that I want to put higher. So I think that one has to be a D because I can't justify putting it any higher.
Oh my god, so many people are going to be mad.
I feel like in the comments of this video they'll...
Oh, that's fine.
I can't wait to hear what people have to say about that one.
We all know watch this video.
My hot takes.
The moment this video goes
strong.
up, like a few days after this video goes up, I'm going to look at the comments and I hope to see some stuff that I want.
Well, we're about to get into another one that I have.
I almost forgot about that. Fantastic Four.
Fan Four Stick. Listen, this movie, not good. However, as we all remember from recording that episode, did a lot for the race relations in Kentucky in 2015. So I think it has to get a B.
I think I also watched this one. I watched a couple videos. I think this is one I watched and I kept on laughing.
Fantastic Four. Oh, by the way, shout out to Luke Lewis who did the X-Men Days of Future Past with us, and then of course this episode was Alexis from We Throw the After Party. That's when we got that whole story, and honestly, I think we talked about how much we love the movie as two separate movies that just so happened to be in one movie. Because
it was great. Two storylines that happened to get smushed together.
Yes.
So,
You got your sci-fi and horror movie here, and then you got your superhero movie over here. B, I think, is a fine spot. I actually think it's overly hated, and I think it's worth people's time actually seeing the movie. I know that people sort of kind of cast it aside. It's not as bad as people say, personally.
Exactly.
All right, Deadpool.
Hey, I just gotta say, one of my top 5 Marvel movies.
I was gonna wonder if you've seen this
Deadpool.
one. All right.
Deadpool's awesome. I just love Deadpool. It's just his character looks so cool. I love how he has 2 like swords and 2 guns, like some common era and some past era.
Sure.
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie, Bentley? Just asking. Have you seen it?
The first one?
I have seen it.
Yeah,
okay.
my dad was watching it, and I watched it with him.
Oh,
nice.
Okay.
This was one of the very few that I had seen before we did this show.
That's right.
And I really enjoyed revisiting it and getting all of the references more than I did on the first pass. However, I forgot how the pacing of that movie.
Yes.
When we revisited it, it really shocked me how drawn out the middle was and how forgettable the middle was. So I know a lot of people are going to be sad about that, but I think it bumps it down to an A for me.
Okay.
I'm
All
fine with an A.
I'm fine with an A too. I'll take an A.
I'm fair with it.
That's okay.
People are going to probably be spamming in the comments like, "Why are they all fine with A?
I love
It
it.
should be S."
And then, of course, we watched
just
that
love
with our fellow
seeing
Canadian
ones.
Fee watched that with us. That was a great episode.
Of course.
Good one to revisit. So this is
I have not.
this is where we're gonna get. This is gonna be a little wild in here. Of course,
I haven't seen this one yet.
So X-Men Apocalypse, also an Oscar
X-Men
movie.
Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a great movie. However, I loved this movie. And I know that's a hot take. I know it was bad, but we all know I love bad movies. Are you gonna kill me if I put this at a B?
I will not vote. I will not. Wait, you said B?
Yeah, you said B.
I'm more shocked
Be
than
honest?
anything, to be honest with you.
Really?
little
I
bit?
don't know X-Men Apocalypse. People are probably gonna be yelling at me like how I don't know that.
No, you're
But
good.
I have not seen this movie.
No, you're good.
I
Did you
haven't
think I
seen
put it? Did you think I would put it higher or lower?
I thought you were gonna S tier this sucker. I thought for sure you love this
Oh.
that much. You can do it. This is your list.
I mean,
I needed the Hulk vote. That's all I needed. Everything else.
Can
is
I
fine.
put it A for Apocalypse?
You-
A for Apocalypse, yes.
yeah.
A
One
for
second. Here we go.
We gotta make it A.
A. Apocalypse.
Okay, that
Spelling-
also actually,
spelling
it's a
ain't my
good
strong
thing you
suit.
had me bump it up because
Yes. it
that will improve our next ranking.
Okay.
Logan.
Did I spell that right?
I have
I don't know. I'm dyslexic.
Fair enough. That's what it is then.
I do have something to say. This movie I had no idea existed in like all these movies on this tier list I've at least heard of except for this.
Okay.
Logan was it's a Wolverine story, and it was a big deal because it was fully R-rated, and that was a big conversation around it when it came out.
Yeah.
And of course, as I said in our Logan episode, it was less emotional than X-Men Apocalypse for me, so it does have to one tier below Apocalypse on my personal ranking. So I am so sorry, all of the Logan stans. It is a B on our list.
I at the very least wanted it over Wolverine Origins and the Wolverine, so that's why I voted the way I did. So I'm okay with wherever it stands. Fair. So that is fine. We're moving on to Deadpool 2, which we did not ever get a chance to see the Christmas edition. I just saw some clips of it. You've not seen Deadpool 2? Interesting.
I want to, but I haven't.
There's a PG-13 version for you if you want to watch it.
Yeah, the Christmas edition was the edited down version, right?
Oh, I don't want that. I want to see the real thing.
They added new scenes to that one.
Yeah. They turned it into a frame story, so they had an opening scene where he was like reading from a storybook, and that introduced the movie. I wasn't a huge fan of this one.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
I'm trying to remember how our thoughts were on it, and I actually not quite sure.
I have no thoughts for this one.
Yeah, I think I would put it at a C.
Okay. Still a competent movie. That's probably what we thought for the most part, but
yeah, it was solid. It was more Deadpool, but the story overall was just a little bit weaker to me. Yeah. And I don't think the comedy hit as well.
That is fair. Of course, by the way, just to bring up X-Men Apocalypse, we watched that with Jacob McCourt. So again, thank you, Jacob McCourt. And now we're moving on to Venom, the first
one of my favorite movies. It's my top 2. It's in my top. It's my second best.
This is why they keep making them.
I am gonna break your heart.
No, wait. Can I just say something about the Venom movie?
Sure.
It's one of my favorites because Venom is just like it's a cool thing, like a symbiote, just a symbiote, an object that needs to a person that needs to have a living thing to merge itself with. And I just love the story of it. I love how like Venom like changes his mind about the world, tries to save it instead of hurting it. I just love the story for Venom. I just top 2, second best.
Okay.
Venom 1, I think I was higher on until I saw Venom 2.
That's right.
Which is definitely coloring how I'm coming to this. But I think looking back, I would put Venom high at an A or a B.
Oh,
okay. Maybe I'm leaning towards B.
Okay, I'm fine with B. I'm fine with B.
Right,
I'm fine with an A or B. Cool anything below B though, I would be mad.
All right. Now moving on to Dark Phoenix, which is another one you probably...
No. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, is it? I'm sorry. Why do I keep highlighting? Something's highlighting where I'm like, oh, that's not the right one. All right. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Of course.
Okay.
Featuring the one and only Nerdaday. Carlo.
Thank you.
This one, I have to give it, if this was my tier list, it would be in A or S. Because it's a Spider-Man movie that's animated and like supposed to be for younger audiences. It's made so that kids would be able to feel the version of Spider-Man that is a child and that would get what they would like. It's a version that kids would love because they would understand the character because he's a child.
Yeah, no, this is absolutely an S tier movie for me. Absolutely. It's just so grounded in Miles, and we love the character of Miles. And just overall,
it's a Spider-Man movie that's targeted for younger audiences, which I think is awesome because Spider-Man is an awesome movie that is mostly targeted for teenagers, but making one for a child, it just makes it better.
Yeah, I will say all of our thoughts, go check out our episode with Carlos because it's just, we had so many praises to give it.
Yes, absolutely. Please check out that episode. Wonderful time. Now Dark Phoenix.
Now Dark Phoenix. Yeah,
I've heard of this one. I have not seen it.
I think this has to be a D for me.
Pretty poster.
A D.
It was pretty. Yeah. It just didn't have a lot of substance, you know?
Yeah. I already hear the people typing in the comments, but this is a good movie. Like all the plot points, I already hear it coming.
Look at its Rotten Tomatoes score and you tell me that. You tell me if it's a good movie.
It's very lowly rated.
Very lowly rated. So.
I know, but I know there's gonna be that one person in the chat typing out this is a good movie. I know there's gonna be at least that one person.
So. Give us all the engagement.
Hopefully. Let us know. It was good. Yeah. It just, compared to the rest, it just doesn't stack up.
Yes. Okay, we're getting to the nitty gritty. We're in the final final stretch here.
Yes.
So we're gonna do the last 4 movies. We're gonna be talking about the New Mutants, which is the last X-Men movie that we will be talking about.
Yeah. I really like this movie.
Yeah.
surprisingly, I really like In Contained Story. I thought it was an interesting take on horror and the genre tropes, and it was really well done. I would probably put it in a B or a C range. What are you thinking, Mara?
I think B or C is a good choice. I mean, ultimately, I think we ended up overall enjoying it for certain character moments and the way that they're described. I want to put it maybe near C only because of the way of how magic is treated and the way that they're written.
Yeah.
Just kind of leaves a bad taste, and it makes me not want to watch the movie. But overall, the concept is great. The characters are who they've chosen are interesting, but there are stuff that they do that I think that pulls it for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the C tier. I'm trying to make up a joke of like what can I name the tier, but I think I'd rather not for that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'd rather not for that one. Yeah.
Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
This is So you've seen this one? You've seen the
This
sequel?
one, I really want to. I've heard a lot. I've seen a lot of it. I just love the fact that they're adding more symbiotes.
Sure.
Red one. I've seen so much of this movie. I practically have seen it.
Okay.
But like I just love how Venom and Eddie are like closer in the movie. They're like able, like in the first one it was them like, okay, what are we doing?
Yeah.
This one they know what they're doing. They're just fighting a red symbiote.
It's definitely up there. I think it's either A or S for me. What are you feeling?
I'm gonna say
I would say like maybe.
You want to say A?
I'm gonna say A because I can't put
Yeah.
it in the same tier as Spider-Man. I'm sorry. Like
I can't. Yeah, I'm feeling the same way. It doesn't fit.
Yeah.
we love it.
Yeah,
It's goofy
I
fun.
think that's a solid choice.
But yeah.
It's a silly goofy time.
Yes.
Morbius. Okay, I love this movie. It's a good movie.
By the way, shout out to Matt Storm for his Venom love on that one.
Shout out to Matt Storm, great guess. Shout out also to Karl for being
absolutely
the one Morbius stan in the world.
I'm probably about to get broken.
There's not two now.
You and Karl are the two.
I feel like my broken.
Yeah. You know what? I can put it at a C. I can stomach that.
Okay, I'm fine with a C. As long I'm fine.
Tell me your thoughts about Morbius, Bentley. I'm curious.
Morbius, I would say it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Just they could have done more with it.
Okay.
Some plot points are like they don't need to be there. Like I do like how like they're trying to find a way to cure their disease. They have to like all that plot is good, but then you have like the woman who doesn't really need to be there, and they're hinting at a sequel. So I'm hoping the sequel will be better. But yeah, it's just
here's willing.
It's a good movie. it can grow to be better though.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for your input. And here we go. Spider-Man across
into the Spider-Verse.
Across the Spider-Verse.
Across the Spider-Verse.
That's right.
Yeah.
Into the Spider-Verse, across the Spider-Verse,
Spider-Verse. S.
Yeah, it takes everything we love about the first one, and
it just doubles it. It just doubles everything. It doubles the character time. It doubles the Spider-Man. Doubles the funny jokes. It's just really good. It's S tier.
And there you have it. We done it.
There we go.
We have watched.
We ran way over time.
Yes.
I hope I can get invited for Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. I would like to.
Well, hey, if it comes out on time, we'll see what we can do. But ultimately, I just want to bring that we've did it. We're all up to date. Sly has seen every possible current form MCU movie that there is, other than some old 80 stuff. We'll get to that in a second.
And only one got into the
Punisher tier.
The Punisher tier.
Well deserved.
Only one.
It's the only one that gets a reward of its own. So, you know.
Yeah. It's the only one bad enough to get its own tier.
All right. With that.
And with that, we're gonna wrap up the show. This is wild. This is the end of season 2, end of the series? Question mark.
End of the era.
End of the era. Yeah. Obviously, this will not be the last of the Marvel non-MCU movies that will be coming out. We actually have a list here of some of the future possible movies from Sony, given Kraven the Hunter, Madam Web, and of course the continuation of Beyond the Spider-Verse. We even actually have written down here Deadpool 3, even though technically now that's MCU, but we're bridging the gap there. But that's going to be a possibly one-offs that goes in the future. But this is sort of for the sort of completing of the weekly or the bi-weekly that we've gone on the show. I want to personally thank Sly for being there every week, making it to every episode. Loving this just general idea of like let's start a podcast and having that energy and carrying on throughout this whole week. This is the first thing I've kind of completed as sort of like a hey, this is definitive 1-2 work. There obviously will be continuations in the future possibly, but I wanted to at least say like, hey, this is a journey. And again, thank you, Sly, for being there. Sly, do you have anything you want to say?
Thank you for pitching the show to me. Thank you for having, of course, to all of our incredible guests and all of our incredible viewers who have been on this journey with us. And I'm so glad to be able to say that I have graduated from the MC University. I have defended my thesis, and I hope you all enjoy this wonderful tier list that is the accumulation of this entire show. And just thank you for everything the show has been done.
Yeah, that's nearly 2 years of life, by the way, if you think of it that way. It's just that kind of wild to think about.
It's your time.
But yeah, it's a time. But we're going to go ahead and sign off and give our sign-offs for the show. Of course, Bentley, where can people find you on the net? Should people find you on the net? Well, I don't know if people should do that.
People should not find you on the internet.
No one should find you on the internet.
Nobody should find you on the internet.
No.
I mean, you can
No.
find me.
Nope.
None of our audience should find you on the internet.
You will be blocked off.
I mean, you can.
Actually, this whole episode, you've been blurred. The whole episode. Didn't even see your face.
No, I don't want to be blurred.
Okay, I won't blur you, but that'll be the only place.
But yeah, no. As somebody who was had unrestricted access to the internet at your age, and I shouldn't have, I'm saying executively, any of our audience now, do not find minors on the internet. It's weird and creepy.
Real
Don't
creepy.
do it.
There's a lot of kids on YouTube.
Yeah, being monetized by their parents. Anyways.
Yeah.
Sly.
Anyways.
Where can they find you? What are you up to these days?
You can find me on the internet everywhere at SlyCloneMC, and you can find links to all my projects on any one of those various socials.
All right. And then, of course, you can
I'm not on the internet. This is my first time being.
Nope, you're banned. You're banned from the internet. No internet.
No, YouTube, don't ban me, please. I have an adult right next to me.
Sure.
I have an adult right here. Here.
Sounds
everybody.
good. Of course, you can find me at Rivera on Twitter. You can find me here at the Point in Progress Network as we do all the fun things. Yeah, that's really about it. And I guess the last thing.
Final time.
One for final time. Class dismissed. School is closed down. We are shutting down. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.